Everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Always so happy to find you here. I do upload on Mondays and Thursdays, and I do shorts now during the week. So please subscribe, and when you do, you will receive a notification as to when I have uploaded new content for your view. And of course, my pleasure, and it is my pleasure. It is certainly my pleasure. You got to have your notifications alert on, settings on, so when you do that, you'll be notified. Okay. Today's topic, I'm going to be hopefully very gingerly and hopeful in getting my point across. Because if you watch any of my videos, and now I have well over 100 now, so proud of that number. I don't use notes. I rarely use notes. I rarely have anything prescripted. I speak from the heart. I speak from the mind. I speak from my experience. I speak from recognition. I speak from observation. And I try to only speak on topics that I think I have a solid understanding to some degree or another to even put my 2 cents in. Okay, so I'm prefacing that because this subject that I'd like to submit today is sensitive, and it is at a point to where we're even comfortable acknowledging that it exists for so many people, and that is mental health. And by way of that, I am not speaking as an expert or one who has worked in it, but I have worked around it, and I have credential for some of it. The purpose of my talk for it today is the misnomer or the false reference to mental health, which to me is unacceptable. And so let me dive into my purpose of this talk. For so long, we have not been able to, or even willing to, or wanting to, or feel comfortable to have the open topic of mental health. It was always kept very, it was almost seen as shameful to even have a mental health imbalance. It was in your family and no one talked about it. It was a private, very private discussion between what I call the patient for mental health and their therapist or psychologist, or even the courts at one time years ago. Now the laws have changed, but years ago, even the courts couldn't get information subpoenaed as to the discussions in private between a patient and their therapist or psychologist. Rightfully so, to some degree, as long as it's not societally hurting others. I'm saying all that to say this. Now that we do feel somewhat comfortable in the existence of mental health, let's not use it as an excuse for our bad behavior when we don't have it to begin with, is what I'm submitting now. Because I have seen so often, frequently even, I'm sure you have too, the excuse given for a person's erratic behavior. We don't know whether they have mental health issues or not. We don't, and I'm not assuming I do. I'm just saying that all of a sudden, it is the go-to response to a bad behavior. The person's bipolar. The person's this. Maybe they are, but not everybody is bipolar. Not everybody has mental health issues. Not everybody is imbalanced in such a way. Some people are just having a bad day and they're acting out inappropriately, is what I'm submitting. That part is what I mean by I'd like to submit gingerly. It is not okay for me to fly off the handle and throw things and things like and claim I'm bipolar. I'm not bipolar. Mm-mm. I've never even had a session with a therapist. So for me to connect my inappropriate bad behavior to that, one, it's a lie. Two, it discredits the true problem that exists for someone else. And three, it gives mental health a bad name, but a good reason to claim it. In other words, it's a way out for what I did or that person did. Let's not use that as an excuse. Now, if a person is bold enough to do that, they do have an issue. They have an issue with character. If they're bold enough to do that, they do have an issue. They have an issue with lying. Lying is a character problem. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So this is what I mean by I want to be careful and not discredit anybody's genuine assessment by a professional with mental health issues to someone that's just having a bad day. When I see someone driving down, I'm in Southern California, and it's not even uncommon anymore to turn on the news and see a high speed chase, a high speed on the freeway. Well, one, putting everybody's life at risk. Two, putting everybody's life at risk. And three, putting everybody's life at risk. So that's my life and I have nothing to do with it. That's the person who's driving and the car. That's the officers in pursuit. So three categories of people whose all life is at risk. Doesn't even include property that they may hit. Doesn't even include a business that they may run. All of these things, because that person, if they don't have a mental health issue, is having a bad day. This is what I mean about being careful now that we feel comfortable in acknowledging that mental health is a thing. I know people who would have never, ever in their life stated they were seeing a therapist. I don't know why. It wasn't kosher, I'll say. But now they'll throw it on you like it's nothing. My therapist said this, my therapist said that. So there you go, oh, I didn't know. Well, you know what? You didn't need to know. So that's part two of this, is overly sharing your therapeutic sessions. That person may not need to know. That person may not want to know. That person may feel uncomfortable knowing. What you discuss with your therapist or psychologist is your personal, private information. Exercise your HIPAA rights. I'm just saying. So that's part two. Part one, don't lie about it if you don't have it. Part two, if you do have it, keep it private. It's private. Part three, when we call out for work and say, I need a mental health day, what you're really saying is, it's a nice sunny day outside. I'd like to go to the beach. I'm just stressed out. Don't call it mental health day. And that's another thing. That's what we do. We don't call it mental health. So I guess for me, I'm trying to say, let's not pivot to mental health and lessen the fact that those that really do have mental health issues, that you're in that category when you're not, is what I'm saying. You don't have an issue like that. So just say, hey, it's a beautiful day. I'm not coming in today. I'm going to take a PTO. I'm going to take a vacation day. However your model is set, I'm going to take the day off unpaid, whatever it is for you. Don't call it mental health. You don't have a mental health issue. Now, let me use myself as an example. I am a person who typically keeps a lot of things on my plate. I'm just like to keep a full schedule. But I'm also a person who puts no more on my plate than I can handle. So if I called in and said I need to take a mental health day, mental health day, I just have things I want to do at home. I need to come in today. I need to go take the dog for a bath. I need to get the car service. I got a lot of things going on. Got a mental health day. Girl, stop yourself. That's what I'm saying. Need to do that. I just say, hey, I'm not coming in today. I need this extra day off. And for me now, I know a lot of people like to take it on a Monday or Friday if they work Monday through Fridays so they can have an extra long weekend. I don't. I like to take mine during the middle of the week. That way, wherever I'm going, everybody else ain't already there. They're not already there. So plan your things properly, but don't call it a mental health. Don't have a bad day and tell off the teller at the bank. That person is sorry your account is overdrawn, but they didn't do it. Okay. When we're upset, so let's give this example, because I did see someone in the bank doing this not long ago, and I was like, child, don't take it out on this teller. The person was upset that the bank charged her 29, I think it was 20, 29, 25, 20. I don't even know what the fees are because I try to keep my stuff before it happens. But anyway, she was complaining that the bank charged her $29 and wanted it reversed out. I'm thinking to myself, you should be thanking them. They paid your bill. You didn't have enough money. So let's say it was $400 and you only had $385. They paid it for you. They paid it for you. Be grateful. But what did she do? Oh, she wanted to speak to a manager and she's not taking this and she could take her business elsewhere and let me speak. This is a poor teller who's probably in college and this is just a job. She's trying to, come on, show some grace and some mercy is what I'm saying. But there she is, yelling and screaming at the teller. She was having an issue, but it's not a bona fide mental health issue. It's just an inability to express herself in such a way that she is not dishonoring, disrespecting someone else. That's not mental health. This is what I mean by that. So let's be kind, let's be patient, let's be generous, let's manage things better and call a thing a thing. It ain't mental health because you're having a bad day. It's not mental. All of us, and that's another thing. The so-called, oh, I feel so depressed today. Are you depressed or you just sad that things didn't turn out your way? There's a difference. Depression is a form of mental health, but unless it's diagnosed, you're not really depressed. You're just sad that things didn't turn out your way. Come on. Everything is not mental health. Don't take away from mental health. I love you. Please subscribe. Click subscribe before you. If you've gotten to this far in the video and you're not already a subscriber and you agree with my topic, click subscribe. And I love you. Bye. Bye. Trying to end this one. My video is not allowing me to end, so I guess I need to keep telling you or asking you to subscribe because it's not allowing me to end. I don't know what this is. Okay, so it's time to end, you guys. Okay, bye. Let me try something here. see if this works. I don't want to re-record this. Come on. I'm clicking something. I need my glass. Oh, child. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh. I got to get this fixed.